Hi, this is Stephanie Little Flowers presenting my Applied Business Projects final presentation. So here we are at the end of the term. Wow, it's been a long time coming. As you can tell, I'm coming to you from my home office, aka the playroom in the basement, which is the quietest place in my house. But hey, you got a really cool minion poster to look at, a really cool wall to look at, heap of toys off to the side. I do have two assistants with me down here. Yes, they have four legs. Yes, they have long tails. No, they will not leave my side no matter how much I have tried. So please bear with them as they feel like they need to push paper my way. So with all that being said, I'd also like to add, although I know you wanted the PowerPoint presentation as part of the final presentation overall, all of my technology is on the laptop, which I'm filming on. So like Pepsi has the Throwback Edition, we're doing a technology throwback edition with this presentation. So let's get started. I felt this term was really amazing and I learned a lot of stuff with it. And in some respects, it's been a long time getting to the end, but in some respects, I was really getting excited because I felt that there were some of us, especially my group, that were just hitting our stride. And it would have been great to see what else we would have accomplished had we had more time. I was part of the group Sweet Thing Lemonade, and we had 4 members within our group. The group was decided upon by the instructor, and we all had a bunch of busy schedules, and so we communicated primarily through Facebook Messenger, Google Groups, and emails, which seemed to work well for the most part. It allowed each of us to pop in and pop out as we had that availability. And, it seemed to work out really well. So the first thing we did is we tried to come up with a name. We had a couple different names that were thrown out there. But we decided upon Sweet Thing Lemonade with the backup and the premise behind it being that some of the sweetest things that we have in life are not those really big moments, but it's those tiny little things that when you look back, we're like, wow, that was so incredible. I recall when I was getting a divorce, it was right around Christmas time, no money. And I came home one day to find this envelope stuck in my door with a bunch of money in it and a little note that said, presents for your child. Not a signature, had nothing else in it. And I was just taken back that such a small gesture meant so much to me. And so I think as a whole, we kind of got on that same page with that premise. So we came up with a logo. As I said, we're doing it old school. We came up with Sweet Thing Lemonade. Shay and I primarily came up with this, worked with it. I submitted it, created it. We extended this logo over to our business cards. Once again, doing it very old world style, which has the same type of lingo on it. We also brought that across to our letterhead with the logo being down at the bottom. We tried to keep it all primarily on the same theme. Because when we thought of lemonade, we thought of like pink lemonade, lemon, yellow lemonade. And so we thought those colors might work really well because it was a virtual lemonade stand. So that was how we came apart with that. With our mission statement being to help those suffering from life-threatening illnesses enjoy the sweetness of life. We tossed in a bunch of different mission statements around. We thought this would tie in well with lemonade because lemonade is a little bit sweet. And also because it is the little things that mean so much. A $10 donation can do absolutely wonders in somebody else's life. And so we thought that worked really well. And then when we went to choose our charity, we ended up choosing a charity, well, the charity Sammy Superheroes. we had tossed out several charities, and we talked it over and kept throwing out ideas, and we decided that we wanted to do one that was more of a local or a state one. We felt that that would drive us a little bit harder to do a better job if we knew where that money was going. We knew who those people were that would be receiving that benefit. I personally work for Columbus Public Schools in Columbus, Nebraska, which Sammy Superheroes is based out of. And I work at the middle school. And so I know a lot of the kids that benefit from this, and I interact with them on a daily basis. So this organization and this charity was very near and dear to my heart. Sammy Superheroes helps fund research for childhood cancer, and also helps not only the kids, but the families of those children who are suffering from childhood cancer. Helps them offset some of the expenses, helps offset, helps them through some of the insurance issues, the legal stuff. The stuff that when your child is sick, you really don't want to focus on. It don't really rationalize how all of this is going to happen, because it all comes at you at one time. With coming up with the product mix, we felt a little confused at first, primarily because, well, we understood we weren't selling an actual product. How to go about setting up that product mix seemed a little bit daunting and challenging, and we did reach out and asked for assistance on that. And what we ended up doing with that was coming up with a pricing strategy based on a donation tier. And we started out with what we called canister donations. And as you know, you go into a grocery store and you can buy canisters of Minute Maid lemonade or whichever brand you like. And they come in different sizes. And we thought, well, that would be a great idea. Therefore, we could equate out an 8-ounce canister would be a set price of an $8 donation, so on and so forth. So we had those canister donations, and those ranged from 8 ounces to 48 ounces. And with each level being like the 48-ounce canister would equate a $48 donation. We felt that those ones were set in stone. They were easily achievable by a wide range of people and businesses. And then we thought, well, we should probably add some bigger ones in there, because who knows, we might get really lucky and get a big business to come in and donate something substantial. So we added some other tiers, which were a dollar range that they could donate to. And what we found was we needed names for them. So based on this whole, we're doing this lemonade stand, we're kind of going with a lemonade theme. We came up with 3 donation tiers. The first one being the Mighty Sippers, which were a donation range of $49 to $63. The Big Gulps, which were a donation range of $64 to $120. And then finally the Sweet Bangs, which we were going to have donations of $121 and up. We felt that this was really achievable. We felt that we could hit a wide range of people within that, and that anybody, no matter what your dollar, how much income you had, whether your business was big or small, all of it could be achieved, and everybody could have a donation level that would fit them. Sorry, I've got to come up with notes. It's been a 12-hour day. So from there, we went into more of creating our Facebook page, our GoFundMe page. And personally, I kind of took a backseat to this. We had one member of our group who really wanted to take the lead on this. And so a couple of the other of us, we decided that we would just kind of monitor it, kind of keep track of it, kind of look at it from time to time. But she really wanted to oversee it as a whole and set it up. And we were like, hey, go for it. We're not going to begrudge somebody who really wants to do this. So that went fairly easy. We once again put our motto on there. We tried to update it as much as we could, especially when we got our sponsors. Wanted to make sure that we had our sponsor logos on the page so that people could see them. And then it came down to searching for those potential sponsors. And this is kind of where our team hit a snag. We started out with each member picking 5 potential sponsors, ones that we thought, each of us thought might benefit our organization. And then from there, from that list, each person narrowed theirs down to 3 potential sponsors. And then from those, we picked our top 2. The ones that we had picked were Team Jack and the Northeast Nebraska Community Partnership. And we felt that Team Jack would give us a lot of vital information, a lot of help on how to create a really successful charity and organization. And the community group, we felt, went through a wide range of people. And therefore, because they reached so many people, we could actually reach more people. So that was our game plan behind the initial sponsors. The person that we had set up to contact those sponsors failed to do so. And so that next week we were scrambling for sponsors because we weren't sure if they had been contacted, and we felt it would be important for them to contact them again regarding this sponsorship. So we sought out other sponsors, and we ended up settling on Letch's Supermarket in Atkinson, Nebraska, and the Flatiron Bar and Grill, which is also from Atkinson. Since we had 2 team members that were from the Atkinson area, we kind of let them take the lead on setting up those times for those presentations and also giving those presentations. I know myself, I offered to help if any of them needed it. If they set it up, on a weekend, I would be more than happy to drive up there. But they wanted to do those on their own. So as part of that, I thought, well, I feel like I should contribute this week. So I put together the presentation and the PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to focus on this a little bit because I don't know that it went as well as I had hoped. When I set up the presentation outline, it was a very full, almost a full presentation. And I had planned it that way because I wanted to make sure that certain points got hit. A lot about our charity that we had chosen because it's not always a well-known charity. What we wanted to accomplish by it, and we wanted to make sure that we got those donation chairs. And we had one member who wanted to do one of those presentations who wasn't as well-versed in the overall business as the rest of us. And so I wanted to give that person as much information as we possibly could to help them succeed. And so with that, I also allowed a little points and error places that they could jump in with a personal anecdote or a little bit more questions or a little bit of quotes or facts and figures or whatever they wanted to choose to put in there. Kind of open it up, give some feedback from that potential sponsor. Now, when I set up the PowerPoint presentation, I did correspond with this outline. And it went well. And I know, well, let me put it this way. I know it didn't have a lot of our business stuff, such as our business logo and stuff. But the plan behind it was when they were done with this presentation, as they were leaving, they were going to hand over this business card with our organization, with our contact information, and they were also going to hand them the brochure, which also had all of our contact information on it, as well as some information inside. Now, what this does is, from a business sense, I've been to a lot of conferences, and people just talk all day long, and you're just sort of like, might be at the end of a long day, it might be an early morning, and you don't always retain it. Or say they have that information that you want, but you may have forgotten that pen or you can't find that piece of paper. And what I found is if somebody handed me that business card or that brochure, not only did I take something away, but then if I set it aside and stumbled across it, I was tied back to that presentation and to that person. And I was able to retain more of that presentation from that person because of it. And so that was kind of the concept behind the presentation. We did use the bright colors once again. You know, wanted to keep it light, keep it festive. We wanted to add in who we were, what we wanted to do, our donation tiers, just so they had an outline of kind of what was going on, throw in some facts and figures about childhood cancer that weren't in the outline, but were in the PowerPoint to kind of supplement that presentation. I picked a couple of my local kids. These are both local kids. They are both in the middle school at Columbus Public Schools. Both are survivors of childhood cancer, and they're somebody that Sammy Superheroes and their families have been supported by, and that Sammy Superheroes has helped them. And I'm really proud to say that they are both right now cancer free. So, obviously it helps. This organization helped. I also had music. Initially, when I was setting up this PowerPoint presentation, I did have music to go with our PowerPoint. But when I was running through it with the presentation, I felt the music kind of distracted from the PowerPoint and the message that we were trying to get across with the PowerPoint. So I ended up taking it out. At the end of the day, neither one of them got used during the presentations. So there you have it. Just in case you're curious, the songs I had planned to use, one was by an Australian country artist called Gina Jeffries, and it was a song called That Will Be Me. And she wrote it because she was inspired by a young fan who had childhood cancer and later passed away from it. And the other song I was going to use was a song by Joey and Rory called When I'm Gone. And though Joey was an adult, she lost a battle with cancer in 2016. And I felt that both of those songs really hit home and helped hit that message. So we're down to what did I learn? What I learned is it's always better to send out multiple letters to multiple sponsors and potentially have too many sponsors than put all your eggs in one basket and risk dropping the basket. I felt that was a really huge hindrance to us. And I also learned that if from the part of the class regarding the letters, that if we have that one person that hasn't really been helping out and presenting the way we wanted them to, that is not a good time to make them step up to the plate, because in the end, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And although, just calling and reaching out to the sponsor was a relatively easy thing to do, it was a really important and vital part of the class. And in hindsight, I would have had somebody who was more involved with the class do it. When it came to the big days of selling, I'm really sad and disappointed to say that we did not do very well at all. It landed right before Thanksgiving break. And of course, you have Black Friday and you have the holiday weekend, then the next weekend we were pretty much done. I saw a really huge drawback to this, and that you're hitting a holiday weekend. So a lot of people aren't going to be out and about. And two, you're hitting the start of the holiday shopping season. So people are a little bit more reserved with their money. They don't want to give. They have presents to buy. They have places to go. They have food to buy, cards to send out, etc., etc., etc. And so I felt that if I was to ever launch something for my own in the future, I would definitely never use this time of year. There's just too much going on. I would want to start it early in the year, give me a chance to build up that customer base and that customer loyalty, and allow those customers to help promote and market me as a customer evangelist, rather than doing it right before holiday season and virtually be ignored, which could be very detrimental to your company. Picking the wrong time of the year is really hard on a business, no matter what business you're in. Shay took charge of shutting down the business, filling out all the forms at the end of the big sale period. She wanted to take the lead on that. We were more than happy to. Overall, I felt our group worked really, really well together. We had three of us that really bounced ideas off of us. Shay and I continually bounced stuff off of each other and seemed to really help each other and complement each other in that respect. Um, we did have that one member who didn't perform very well, didn't contribute very much, and hardly put in any effort at all. And from a personal standpoint, I found that very frustrating because I wanted to do the best that we possibly could. And for one person to completely slack, well, basically is not how I was raised. So, if you're going to do something, you need to do it the best that you possibly can at all times. I felt that this class overall has prepared me for starting up a business of my own someday. It is a desire of mine to have my own business. I felt I gained a lot of experience of just the work that is required to set up that business and the time and the effort that is needed to set up that business. And, once again, the perfect timing is everything in a business. And Christmas holiday season, so not that time. I also really learned and kind of reinforced my idea of the proper protocol and handling of vendors and customers and all of those that you come in contact with. Every contact is an important contact in a business, whether it be your trash guy or your banker, two completely different rungs, equally important with how you deal with them. Your favorite customer who spends $800 or the person that spends $1. Huge difference in their spending price, still same importance level. Because I read a book called Creating the Customer Evangelist, and it said a satisfied customer will only tell 3 people about their experience. However, an unsatisfied customer will tell 7 to 8 people about their experience. So it's vital to a business to always hit at that exact point and hit and make sure that the experience is a good one each and every time, whether it be returning a call, sending out a letter, promoting marketing tools, however you're promoting your business or marketing your business. It's very important. I also understand that having a good sound concept, a really strong mission statement, and how to translate that into your marketing and your promotional concepts. I found that really, really interesting and something I've actually taken and have been applying already in my job. As I said at the beginning, I felt that with the correction of a few things that didn't go so well, tweaking a few things here and there, and having a bit longer to promote and sell our business, we would have had a lot greater success than what we did. And however, despite my initial fear regarding this class, I have a better sense of business and what it takes to be that startup business. And so with that, I know I went a little over time. Sorry for the commotion in the background. Sorry for the noise of the washer in the furnace and my really lack of professional scenery behind me. But once again, loved the class. Found it very challenging. I learned a lot. I'm really glad I took the time and was putting forth the effort I needed to for it. What I take away from this class is so much. So thank you. Hope you have a great evening. Hope you have a great holiday season.